Welcome to this complete beginner's guide for the Røde Wireless Me. In this video we're going to go through everything there is to know so you can master these wireless microphone systems, because it looks simple in the beginning. There is a lot of features and settings that you need to get right to get the best audio quality out of this wireless microphone system so you can get crisp audio every time. So first off, we have the two units that we get with the Røde Wireless Me. The one where it says RX, that is the receiver that you put on, for example, your camera or your phone or anywhere else where you would like to receive the audio and put it into the video. The next one, that is the TX, that stands for transmitter. Then you have two wind muffs, also called dead cats. Those ones you're going to put on the microphones whenever you're outside and there are some kind of breeze or wind that risks to destroy the audio if you get some wind noise baked into the video. Then we have two cords. The first one is lightning to USB-C. That one is going to be used when you connect the Røde Wireless Me to the iPhone. And then you're going to connect, of course, the RX, because it's a receiver, to the iPhone. The next USB-C to USB-C, that one is used if you, for example, are going to connect your Android phone or you're going to connect the Røde Wireless Me directly to a computer. And then we have these two cords. One of them is black and black. The other one is gray and black. The black and black, that one is a tip ring sleeve and tip ring sleeve because it has two black lines, so it's a tip, ring and sleeve. The other one has a black side, that is a tip ring sleeve, and the other one that is gray, that one has a tip ring sleeve. And the gray one, that is used when you, for example, going to plug your wireless Me into a phone, for example, but the black and black, that one is used when you plug it in to, for example, the camera. So when you connect the Røde Wireless Me to the phone, download first the Røde Central Mobile from your app store. And then when you open that one up, it says, please connect your Røde device. And to connect the Røde Wireless Me to the phone, I'm going to take the correct cable, I'm going to plug it into the phone, and then I'm going to take the other end and just plug it in to the USB-C port of the Røde Wireless Me. And I'm going to start with the RX, that is the receiver. Directly I'm going to get everything into the screen that has to do with the RX. And if there was a firmware update available for the Røde Wireless Me, you would have been prompted that directly here on your phone, so you can update the firmware version directly. And then it's going to prompt you to switch from the Røde Wireless Me receiver to the transmitter. So you're going to just unplug this receiver, plug in the transmitter, and then it's going to update the firmware of that one as well. And just to make sure that the firmware version is actually updated on a transmitter as well, I'm just going to switch it out. So as easy as you do this, you just unplug the receiver, plug in the transmitter, and there you get all the properties that are available for the transmitter directly on the screen so you can manage it. And then how to charge the Røde Wireless Me? Well, you charge it via the USB-C cable, so you can just plug it into any USB-C cable you have at home. You don't get that wall adapter in the kit. So if you don't have one, you need to get one. And if you would like to make sure that you are up to date in the firmware, you can just go to the screener and then you tap the I under the TX for the transmitter. And then it's going to see firmware version 143, your Røde device is up to date. So the next thing we're going to do, that is to go through all the settings and features you have on the Røde Wireless Me. First up to the left it says Me Mic, and that one is on. The Me Mic, that is the microphone that is built into the Røde Wireless Me receiver. So you have the receiver and you have the transmitter. If you're used to the Røde Wireless Go 2, for example, you have one receiver and two transmitters. It's the two transmitters that has a microphone. When it comes to the Røde Wireless Me, the transmitter has, of course, a microphone, but also the receiver has a microphone, which makes it possible for you that has mounted, for example, this receiver to your phone or to a camera to record the audio of me that is holding the phone or the camera. And this is where you turn that microphone on or off. Here we have the GainAssist. The GainAssist is a complete game changer when it comes to microphones. Usually I use a really expensive onboard microphone on my Sony a7S III camera that also have auto gain assist, so I don't need to mess around with any gain levels, or aka volume levels. If you don't understand what gain is, this the volume, how high or low the audio is baked in and recorded to the video file, for example. And the Røde Wireless Me has auto gain. And what the auto gain will do is that it's going to level out all high noises and low noises, so it's going to be a equal level of everything. So you're going to avoid those spikes that are going to distort the audio, for example. And this is really useful. I just love everything that can be automatic, should be automatic. And this is where you set that one. You have three ones. You have dynamic, off, and auto. Auto, that is the most aggressive, so to speak. That one is the one you're going to use when you are in a situation where you can't really control the audio, where you can have spikes, peaks in the audio, and also really quiet sections. If you go to dynamic, that is where you have more control over the audio. For example, if you have an interview situation or something else where you don't have those spikes and you don't expect anyone to shout or such, then the dynamic is the best choice. And then you also have off if you for some reason don't want to have the auto gain feature. Personally, I would like to have that on auto to begin with. We're going to test this out later so you can see what differences make. So the next thing we have, that is the mode here. And the mode can be toggled between merged and split, and that is controlling how the audio is recorded. That maybe sounds complicated, but it's not. So for example, if I turn off the Me microphone, then you can see that I can't click that one, because then we only record the audio from one source and you can only record it in one way. When we turn the Me microphone on, so I have one recording from the Me microphone, from the receiver, and one from the transmitter, then I can decide if it's going to be merged. When it's merged, it means that the audio from the receiver and the transmitter are baked into both the left and the right channel equally. And then if I take it to split, one of them is going to be recorded to the left channel and the other one to the right channel. Take for example, that one person is talking way too loud and the other one is talking way too low. Then you can adjust the volume of the left channel up and the right channel down so you get a good volume level. If you bake it in together, then you can't do that, because then you're going to adjust both at the same time. However, with the Røde Wireless Me, where you have GainAssist, that shouldn't really be a big problem, because the system itself will adjust the volume levels of the recorded audios and voices, so they should be equal. But I should still prefer to use split until I know for sure that it's working as I expect it to. The next thing we have, that is the level. It can be set to high, low, and medium. And that is how high the gain is, the volume is that it is recorded. So for example, when you connect the Røde Wireless Me to a camera, usually the gain amplifier in the camera is not of a super good quality, and that can make the audio a little bit less good quality, so to speak. The GainAssist, the gain feature in this one is usually of better quality. So what Røde suggests is that you're gonna put the gain, the volume on the camera as low as you can, and then you adjust that one with the setting in the Røde Wireless Me until you get a good level. And what is a good level? Well, usually I aim towards about -6 dB of peaking. Usually I have some gain amplification set in the camera. I usually have it around 10 or 11, and I know that that will record a fantastic audio, and then I can just adjust that here so I know that, well, medium, that is how I usually would like to have it, so I get a good audio level recorded. Then we have the next and last setting here. That is how bright or dim you would like to have these LEDs that are on the Røde Wireless Me. So if I put it on, for example, bright, you're going to see it very clear. If you put it on dim, it's less clear. But the problem is that, well, you can't turn it off, and I would prefer to be able to turn it off. So there is actually one or maybe two good reasons why you should not be able to turn off the LEDs of the Røde Wireless Me. And that is because, one, you don't have a screen. There is no display on this one, so you don't even know if it's turned on or turned off if you wouldn't have the LEDs on. And the second one is you don't have any vibrator, so you don't get any feedback if it's turned on or turned off either. And the next problem is that this is so freaking shiny, so if I have it here, it just screams, hey, I'm using a Røde Wireless Me here. Look at that one instead of the face of the talent. So one thing is that you're going to figure out how to hide this one so it's not that visible and not that shiny. What else can you do here? Well, here at the top you can actually rename this one. So if you don't want it to be Wireless Me, you can rename it to something else. If we then unplug the receiver and plug in a transmitter instead, we're going to see what settings we have on the Røde Wireless Me transmitter. And here we can see that we can have the GainAssist also on this one, if it's going to be off, auto or dynamic, and you can set the LED brightness to be dim or bright, and that is the only settings you have on the transmitter. And well, yeah, here at the top you can also see how much battery you have, but you can't see how many percentage you have. You can only see an estimation with those graphics. So the next thing we're going to do, that is to connect the Røde Wireless Me to the camera and then to adjust the gain setting on the Røde Wireless Me so it fits to the camera. And this is not as easy as you may think. First we need to decide what cord are we going to have. Correct, it's going to be the black one because it's the TRRS cable. So let's scrap the other one for now, and we're going to connect this one to the hot shoe up here like that. And after that we're going to plug in this cord to the side and make sure you have the RX that we have here, and then I'm going to plug in this one to the camera. So how do we set the perfect levels of the audio, the gain and everything on these Røde Wireless Me? The first thing we need to do, that is to turn off the GainAssist, because the GainAssist will make sure that the audio is not clipping, so the system will help us to get a good level instead of actually setting a good level. So first, let's turn off the GainAssist. So to do that, again, we need to plug in the cord to the RX, the receiver, then we need to plug in the phone. So let's set the Wireless Me receiver to off and the wireless transmitter to off. Now something happened with the audio and you can probably hear that. Next thing we're going to do, now we're going to take a look at the screen, the monitor of this camera. You can see at the top here, we can see how it's peaking. And what we need to do now, that is to position the microphone where it's supposed to be when we are recording. So I would like to have it about here. Røde suggests that we're going to set this one as low as possible, and then we should adjust the gain on the Røde Wireless Me instead, and then I can go to the level, and if I tap the level to low, it's going to be even lower. So when I put this one to high, I can see that on the camera it's about -20. So then I need to add the gain on the camera. Okay, where is it bouncing? Right now it's bouncing about -3 decibels. So that is a little bit too hot, a little bit too much gain. So we need to turn this down from 5 to maybe 3. And when we're on 3, we can see that, oh, now it's peaking up to about -6 and the average is about -12. So that should be a perfect setting. So now we can turn on the GainAssist again. So let's put the receiver to auto and the transmitter to auto as well. So it is a little bit complicated to actually adjust the audio levels because you don't have any screen on it. You need to connect the phone, and you need to connect the phone to the correct device. So to set the gain level, you need to connect it to the receiver. If you connect it to the transmitter, you will only be able to set the GainAssist if it's going to be auto, dynamic or off. Let's try the GainAssist to see how it works and when you should select one or the other. Right now the GainAssist is actually turned off, and to adjust that I need to plug in the Røde Wireless Me transmitter into my phone again with the old cables. So we're going to plug in the USB-C. I'm going to get that up in the Røde Central app, and here we can see that the GainAssist is turned off. And what I'm going to do is first I'm going to talk very quiet, then I'm going to increase my voice, and I'm going to talk very loud, and then I'm going to scream, and then I'm going to clap my hands, and we're going to see how well this works. And first, let's talk quiet. So this is when we talk really quiet. And then we're going to talk a little bit louder, and then it's getting louder and louder and louder. And if we clap our hands, I need to put down my phone first. It sounds like this. And now let's turn on the next level, that is auto. So auto is the setting you should use most of the time, and this is when I talk really quiet and I'm not talking loud at all. And then I'm going to talk more and more loud and louder and louder and louder, and then I'm going to scream and I'm going to clap my hands. And this is how auto sounds. And then after that we have the dynamic. And dynamic is when you're going to use and still preserve the dynamic that is happening around you, and that is basically when you have a more controlled environment. So when we're going to do that, first we're going to talk very quiet, and this is very, very quiet, and we're going to talk louder and louder and louder, and then we're also going to clap our hands, and that is how the dynamic works. And then these wind muffs, how do you put them on? Well, you're going to take your Røde Wireless Me, and then you have to unplug any lavalier microphone that you have. And when you have unplugged that, you're going to just take this one. You can see that it has two little notches in there. It's maybe hard to see, but it lines up with the same here. So you can twist it. Then it's super attached. I forgot that the audio is actually recording from this one. To unclip it again, you just take it and twist it anti-clockwise. As soon as you're outside, put that wind muff on, or use a lavalier microphone and put a wind muff on that one also. The next thing is to take a look at how we download internal recording from the Røde Wireless Me into the computer. Because if something happens, you maybe need to save that one, but you don't actually have one. There is no internal recording on the Røde Wireless Me. So the next thing we're gonna do, that is to watch that video and see each other in that one, because that is the video YouTube recommended to watch next. So see you in that one. Bye.